everybody, and welcome to Math Workshop. I'm so happy that you guys are joining us. So we are going to get right started, and I'm going to share my screen so we can see what we are going to be doing for today. All right, so I want everyone to take a really great look at our math classroom because it got a makeover. You can see that there is a lot more things in our math classroom now, and I'm going to start off here with our math conjectures. We have added a math conjecture or a math rule that your friends have come up with. They notice that when we add numbers, the order that we add them doesn't matter because the answer stays the same even if we switch them. So our friends remembered that we can do the switcheroo when we add and the answer will stay the same. So we can use that rule when we're solving in math. I also see that there's a lot of new math strategies posters. These are all posters of ways that you guys have learned to solve problems. You know how to use addition sentences, greater than, less than, counting by tens. These are all ways that you can use to solve your problems. And guess what? If you click on any of these pictures, it will bring you to a new link or a video that you can watch to practice these strategies. And I also see that our math anchor charts are new too. These are all charts that have helped us to solve. So maybe if you forgot some of your 10 facts, hey, they're right here. Or you want to use the number line and you can't really remember, oh, look, right here, how we learned how to use the number line. So if you ever get tricked or you're not sure where to start, check out our math strategies and our math anchor chart because I'm sure you're gonna find something that will help you in there. All right, and the last new thing is that Ms. Esposito has added the math vocabulary tab. This used to just say math vocabulary, but now if you click here, it will bring you to a new page and it will have all of our vocabulary that we've done so far. And it will even have the links to videos and pictures that we've seen to help us too. So now that we know where all of our math vocab is going to be, let's start going over it. The first word that we have is compare. Now, if you're at home, I want you to click on your screen and go to the compare video so you can watch a little bit about what it means to compare. But I'm going to tell you a little now too. So to compare things means to tell what is similar or different about them. So a lot of times we can compare people. We can say that people are taller or shorter or younger or older than others. Or we could even talk about things like their hair, like whose hair is longer or shorter, whose hair is curly, whose hair is straight. When we do that, we're noticing what's similar and different between two different things. We can also compare numbers by saying which is biggest, which is smallest, all fun things like that. Our next vocabulary word that we learned a little bit about last week is the word greater. And I'm doing this because the word greater means big. Greater means the bigger number. And I always use my hand motions to just remind me that greater, my hands are big, it means bigger. Now I know bigger or greater. The next word is less. And less is the opposite. Less is the smaller number. And that's why I put my fingers so close together because I know it's so tiny. So I know greater is the bigger number, less is the smaller. So you can always use your hand motions too to help you remember what those tricky words mean. And our last vocabulary word for today is the word equal. Again, you may click on this video to teach you a little bit more about the equal sign, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it too. So our equal sign is really important. We see it in number sentences to show us what our total is. The equal sign also means the same. When we see a number sentence, like our one in our math classroom right here, 4 plus 1 equals 5, it means that 4 and 1 put together is the same, because we see that equal sign, the same as 5. We know that the equal means the same. All right, so now we've gone over our math vocabulary, so we have to go over our learning goals for today. Again, if you are at home, you can click on these two links so that you can watch a little video to get your brain warmed up for our learning today. So our first goal is to put numbers and objects in order. Wonder what that means. And our next goal is to compare numbers to see which is the biggest. My ears are ringing because I hear that word compare and biggest, and I know all about those words now, so I feel like I got this. Okay, so the reason why I was asking everybody to help compare today is because I have some cousins, and they had some questions that they needed to get answered because they could not figure it out. So I was hoping that my first grade scholars could help and answer some questions for my cousin. So here are my cousins. I want you to take a nice good look at them. Here they are. I have some questions about them that I want you to answer. So every time I will ask a different question. What you can do at home is you can pause and draw on your screen, or you could just point with your finger what you think the answer is. All right. So the first question I have about my cousin is, which person is taller? I want you to circle the cousin that is taller. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to figure out who is taller. You can point or you can circle it on your screen. Who is taller? Great. Now let's move on to the next question I have. Circle the person who is shorter. Who is the shorter one? Make sure you're circling or pointing to that cousin. Who's the shorter one? All right, here we go. I have another question. I was wondering, who has longer hair? Who has the longer hair? Remember to circle or point to the cousin you think has the longest hair. All right, and my last question. Can you circle the cousin that has the shorter hair? Who has the shorter hair? Circle or point to that cousin. Awesome. So you guys have answered some questions about my cousins now, and I want you to think in your head, how did you know who was taller? How did you know who was shorter? How did you know who had longer hair? What were you noticing? What does longer mean? What does shorter mean? I'm thinking, how did you know who was taller? How did you know who had longer hair? I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to think out loud. How do you know? Awesome. So you guys just compared people. And when we compare things, we like to think about how they are a bit different. So today we're gonna play another game that can help us compare things. Here's how the game was work. Here's how the game will work. You are gonna see 2 different dice on my screen. Your job is to choose the dice that has the most dots. You have to choose the dice that has the greater number of dots. When you figure out which one has the greater number, you're going to circle it just like we did for my cousin. So let's see what we are going to be comparing now. All right. We are going to circle the dice that has the greater number. What does that mean? Oh, I remember that word greater means bigger. So I must need to find the bigger number. So which of these is bigger? Circle the answer when you got it or point. Great. Now, I want you to do it again. Circle the dice that has the greater number. Which one has the bigger or more? Let's figure it out. Circle or point. Great. Again, circle the dice that has the greater number. Which one has the greater number of dots? Remember to circle and point. Awesome. Again, circle the dice that has the greater number. Which dice has more? Which one is bigger? Remember to circle or point. Awesome work. So you guys were figuring out all those dice super, super quick. I'm wondering, how do you figure out how many dots are even on the dice? How'd you figure that out? How many dots are on the dice? Then how do you know who has more? How do you know? What does that mean to have more? And great. So I saw today that we can learn that we can compare things by seeing how they're different from each other, and we can also compare numbers. We've been playing games about comparing two numbers to see which is more and which is less. And mathematicians are awesome at doing this, and we are going to continue to learn new ways to compare different numbers and use some special words and symbols to talk about things when we're comparing them. Nice job today, everybody. You are going to go on to Class Dojo and complete your work for today. I'll show you what your work looks like for today. Your work will be this worksheet that you will have to circle the side that has more faces. So if I were to be doing this worksheet, here's how I would do it. I would first count out all of my smiley faces on one side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now I have 8 on this side. Now I count this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I know I have 9 on this side. So then I have to figure out which is the bigger number, 8 or 9 smiley faces. And then I circle my answer. And I know that 8 is a bigger number than 9. You're going to continue doing that for all the faces. And when you're done, you're going to have a smiley face on you too. Thank you for joining us today, friends, and good luck with your work.